What is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? Hood afternoon, grand rising to those that are catching this now, maybe later, or what have you. Listen, we got to check in really quickly. I didn't send out the alarm because this is really like an impromptu, but I wanted to get this mindful message, right? Because we didn't do Mindful Monday, but just listen, you know what's going on right now, right? So I want to just talk about that briefly. Also, I did a live stream last Mindful Monday, and that was about 11 hours long. So if anybody was wanting to see what we were doing, I put it on private right now because I was trying to take chop pieces off of it and like put it up. So it won't let me because there's 11 hours into that stream. It's too long. And it is what it is. So whatever. While you're coming in, don't forget to hit that like button, please, so we can stay in the algorithm. If you can't stick around, that's good. I'm not going to be on here but too long. I just wanted to talk about what's going on right now and keeping our energy, protecting our energy, keeping it on a swivel, right? Because I'm noticing a lot of people are doing the puffy dance, the puffy jig, when in regards to what's just been happening. And honestly speaking, there's nothing funny about his situation. There's nothing funny with any of these people that have been deemed predators or pretty much predators, right? There is a documentary right now that's out called something about the Hit the Lights or something like that, or I don't know. It's about the Nickelodeon, the children that were dealing with these adults during that time in Nickelodeon and things of that nature. I didn't watch it. I can't. My energy will let me watch, but so much at a specific time. And I don't really want to. I can't. I just can't. You get what I'm saying? I just can't at the moment. And so we have to just be mindful, guys, that even though this situation is going down with Puff Daddy, I don't honestly, again, like I said, I don't hold on, y'all. I don't condone this. I don't condone anything that he's doing. My brother Smitty's in the building. Yes, there I is. Here I is. I don't condone any of this stuff. Puffy has always kind of been like a shady character since the early 90s, and he had gotten into a situation where they really couldn't get him on criminal neglect. Thank you, my Smitty, my chocolate factory. They couldn't get him on criminal neglect because there was an incident in a situation where 9 people lost their lives back in 91, and it was a concert in a college, City College, New York City, Manhattan, back in 91. I believe so. And from that point on, Puffy has then since been on my radar because he kind of handled it like, well, it's not my fault, and he was like the main promoter of the event. So from that point on, I kind of was like, I don't like the way he handled that situation. So, okay, Puffy. And I don't really like to draw too many coincidences and synchronicities together. I don't want to like sound pseudo about certain things. I'll leave that to, there's plenty of people out here that are just really trying to connect the dots, do numerology and gematria with the numbers, and Puffy and Biggie Smalls, song came out on the 27th and he was arrested on the 27th. And I'm like, I can relish in that a little bit, but sometimes I'm just like, sometimes shit is just shit. All right. I'm not bringing up no coincidences that the song "Kicking the Door, Waving the 4-4" and all that stuff came out on this time, and Puffy was not arrested, but his homes were invaded, on the March 27th. Like I can't muster all that up to make it sound like it could stick. Because let me tell you, the government doesn't do that shit. The government doesn't play the way you guys are out here playing around with numbers and star alignments, and it's in the month of Gemini and it's Pisces season. It's no. There's been nefarious things going on for a very long time, and it's dealing with underage girls and boys. And I'm not saying, and disclaimer, I am not saying that Puffy by any means is associated with any of that stuff, but I'm saying the industry alone, we've seen this time and time again. We've heard this time and time again. But we laugh at some of these people and we'll say, oh, they just are out here for money. Some of them are, but some of them go to their graves and they hold all this in. Corey Haim, the guy from Lost Boys, the main actor, he was part of that whole children growing up in Hollywood type stuff. Corey Feldman, his best friend, has been telling people for the longest, he's like the white Orlando Brown. He's been banging on the industry for years. And they keep saying, oh, he's a weirdo. Oh, he's this. Oh, he's that. They're making him seem like he's crazy. And he's like, yo, I bet, like Macaulay Culkin, another one. I mean, and you have to wonder why some of these children then turn to drugs, because one, it is introduced to them by adults to keep them subservient and submissive and keep working like workhorses, right? But also to deal with the stuff that they've seen and have to go through. It's us regular people are not going through that type of abuse. So when we see that his home, and when I hear Homeland Security, that alone sent off red flags to me, because I'm like, well, that's a big deal. This is not just, run of the mill, the SWAT team coming in, Miami-Dade, going in and taking some stuff out, or local FBI. No. This was Homeland Security. And in case we forgot who Homeland Security was or is, they're the federal government agency that was working and still working intangible for keeping this country safe from domestic terrorism. So when I hear the words Homeland Security going up into Puffy's homes in California and two in Miami, that's not something to just laugh about and blow that shit in the wind. That's kind of like, what? Because that means that he's a terrorist on domestic soil. Then there's a rumor mill going on. I think it was by Suge that said, it's really, they went into Puffy's home to get paperwork or files and stuff of that nature that had more high up end people on their names on computers and things of that nature, right? They're trying to keep record. And I don't know if Suge is lying. We don't know. Suge is locked up. So he's, he may be trying to get his little fame in and say a few a few trade words in here, right? Excuse me. But that could be possible, because Puffy is a very, I want to say he's in a high-ranking position as well now. Not higher than himself. I mean, not higher than like a Clive Davis and things of that nature. Let me just put this on silence real quick, because telemarketers. they're not on. He's not up in that echelon, right? He's not a Quincy Jones, but he's very close to Quincy Jones. I'm sure he can, call Quincy personally. All right, his stepson was named after Quincy Jones by Al B. Shore, and Al B. Shore tried to say some things on social media last year, and the year, or rather, he was in a coma last year. But before that, he tried to say some stuff, and he was, acting very erratic. So the fact that his son's mother passed away at a young age, and from some type of pneumonia, when they were like, no, mom, she was fairly, she was good. She had like a cold or something, but like, no, she was good. So that was 2019. And since 2019, a lot of people, whether they've come out publicly to try to say something or privately, they've been holding back, saying that, Puffy may or may not be connected with his son's mother's death. So, I mean, truth is stranger than fiction. So it doesn't sit well with some people that it's like, well, no, we saw her here like this, and she went to go to sleep, and then things just took a turn for the worse. And Puffy has definitely kind of, and rightfully so, as a parent, he's cookie cut, social media away from his children, especially the girls, his younger children. So they're not affected by what people might be saying about their mother. But, I'll be sure is one of the people who've been around Puff Daddy long enough, extremely long enough, to know the type of person that he can be. So he has every right to speak out if he wants to, but then he had to retract what he said on social media, because it was getting back, I guess, to some people. Like, so Puffy's very high up on the echelon, if you will, as far as being Mr. Untouchable. Another one would be everybody's favorite rapper, Jay-Z. And I would say that those are the last of that type of stronghold in the industry. Though those are the titans now, and they're kind of like the new Black Godfather and the Clive Davis and the Quincy Jones, right? Because the Clive and Quincy is up there in age; they're like 80 something years old. So you got Jay-Z, you got Puffy, and a few others that really have a stronghold in the music industry, and especially in rap and hip hop. So, this isn't the beginning, as people keep saying. This is the beginning for Puffy, beginning of the hammer coming down on this type of backroom clubhouse type behavior. We saw the fall, and you should have paid attention then, but we saw the fall with Bill Cosby. And then again, here we got social media, especially Black social media. Oh, Bill Cosby. That's nothing to be making fun of. It sounds funny, but it's very sad. And I had to remove myself, because I'm like, Bill Cosby, not Fat Albert Bill Cosby, not The Cosby Show Bill Cosby, not what was the college sitcom that he had with them, not that Bill Cosby. So when I'm hearing this, and I'm like, well, these women, this is 40 years, this is 50 years ago that you want to bring this up now. So at that point, it was like becoming a witch hunt. Remember? It was a witch hunt for Bill Cosby. Now they got to get Bill. That's when you should have known that everything's going down after that. Because Bill Cosby is in that Mr. Untouchable elitist status as well. He's been in it for years, decades. But what did they do? They found some stuff to stick, and they had Bill Cosby sit in jail for 3 years. 3 years. Meanwhile, the Weinsteins, Epsteins, and any Steins have been running loose since then. Right? Because at the same time, simultaneously, it was Bill Cosby, it was Weinstein, and it was R. Kelly, Robert Kelly. Right? R. Kelly was just like maybe a year or so right behind Bill Cosby being locked up. I think he was coming out, and and R. Kelly was going in. Nonetheless, again, R. Kelly's also up there in that type of stratosphere where he's done music with Michael Jackson, Celine Dion, to rappers. I mean, he's creme de la creme, right? And we heard for the first time RICO charges. When did you ever hear RICO charges? Not since 1989, 1990 mob bust in New York City. And they had to create something to keep these mobsters from, networking and moving money and drugs around. So they created the RICO Act. That's the only time that you ever heard of RICO. But then they put this charge on R. Kelly. So that's another spidey sense that went off, and I was like, wow, RICO. So what is he really being charged with? Well, he's being charged with the same thing that they're trying to get Puff Daddy on. Excuse me. So therefore, it's a domino effect. Now, how is it that all of the Steens and what was the other name? Kevin Spacey. Remember when the whole Me Too came out a couple of years ago, or about 5-6 years ago, right? He didn't do none of them that were being accused, especially Stacey. I mean, now his career, they kind of shelved him, but they shelved him. They didn't arrest him. You see the difference? They shelved Kevin Spacey, but they put Bill Cosby in jail. And Spacey, there's alleged him giving sexually transmitted diseases to people. So why wasn't he sitting in the jail cell with Bill Cosby? We know, but a crime is a crime. Don't matter what color you are, right? So no, this isn't the beginning. This is just the whirlwind. This is the tape up. We're in the year 8. This is the karma. I was talking about that on my last live on Mindful Monday, which I can't clip it all because it's 11 hours in there, but there were some gems in there. And I was telling everyone that we are in a karmic year. We are in the universal year 8. And that is going to bring karma. Whether you did something last year or 10 years ago, the shit is coming back to bite you in the butt this year. Now, if you did something 10 years ago or a year ago that was beneficial, right? You weren't harming anybody. You weren't taking advantage of anybody. You were just living your organic life. Then you're gonna get your abundance. You're reaping what you sow this year. If you were a child that was brought up in a destitute type lifestyle, and it was really bad, it was very school of hard knocks, and you persevered, and you're here today to live through all that, to see this all out, your abundance is coming back to you. Your karma is coming back to you, but not in the bad way, because you didn't do anything wrong. So what we're seeing now is what they call the roosters coming home to roost, right? And this is in the beginning. This is just the whirlwind. The beginning was, like I said, Bill Cosby. That's who the beginning was. That's when you should have known then that everybody else is going, especially in the Black media and Black music, if you want to say that. that this is the chopping block. This is the chopping block. And last year, as I called it a judgment year, it was a spiritual universal year number 7, but it was also a judgment year. And guess what? We're not out of judgment. So I titled this, Keep Your Energy on a Swivel, because there's so much stuff going on right now that it's really, energetically wise, it's just really off the Richter scale. And the fact that I see social media pretty much laughing about what's going on with Puffy, it's just like, yo, you don't know, because your closet is not clean, and it's really sad, because it's really Black folk that is doing that, and it's like, you don't have that energy for Weinstein. You wasn't making memes about Weinstein. This man was he had a walker at one point, so he could elude court dates. And no, I didn't see no Black media making fun of this man at all. They might have said, oh, he Weinsteined her or something, but they didn't put no memes. They didn't blow it up on social media. Every media that I subscribe with has Puffy on their thing. And then I see memes, people putting up Puffy in the OJ Simpson Bronco and the cops. I mean, this shit's not funny no more. It's really not, especially if he's done some things to innocent people that didn't deserve that. Think about the victims here. You're glorifying something and someone that might or might have been, most likely have been nefarious in his ways. And I'm not giving him the time of the day to post up funny memes about him. It's sad. It's sad. People were doing that with Bill Cosby. Oh, they were putting the Jello pops up and, calling him Bill Cosby and all this stuff. I'm not giving that energy either, because my childhood was destroyed. You know what I mean? Like hearing this man who was showing us how to be morally correct with the Fat Albert show. I grew up with Fat Albert. Are you serious? And I'm not talking about the new one that was with Keenan. I'm talking about the old school 1970s Fat Albert. It is in the building. Salute. Ant Dog's in the building. Salute my brother Ant Dog. Peace. I know it's impromptu, but I was getting like this. I needed to just come out and flex a little bit because it's funny, to some people and things of that nature. But I'm empathetic, and I don't like to hear that something has happened to a child, something has happened to an elderly person, something has happened to a woman, especially if children are innocent, period. I don't care how bad they are are innocent, right? The elderly are feeble, and women can be feeble. Don't come at me, ladies. Don't come at me. Y'all know y'all not strong and brolic. Like, cut it out. You know you can't be a 300-pound, 6'1" man. Like, stop it. But the thing of it is that we're making jokes, and there's a real serious side to this story. And like I said, when I heard Homeland Security, I'm like, they don't use those terms. The first time I heard RICO on anybody was R. Kelly. Now they're using RICO on these little drug rappers all over the place. So that has to make you think, what's really going on here? So is this industry really about pimping and hoeing? And also pushing drugs? But the same people who allowed this to happen are the same people now going to lock up these people. Like, make that shit make sense. So, yeah, I'm keeping the energy. Like, we got the crystals on deck. Like, we're not playing these type of sinister games out here. Because a lot of people were influenced by these people. R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, Sean Puffy Combs, Sean Carter, Jay-Z. They've had influence for the past almost 30 years. And we went along for the ride. We all got hoodwinked. We were all anchored and roped into this shit unwillingly. So we're victims in this shit too. Because now they played on our intelligence. Here we are going to music stores, buying their records, going to the clubs, because they talk about pop bottles. So we're going to pop bottles. Get all freaky deaky in the bathrooms because they did it in the videos. Like what Suge Knight said, all up in the videos. Right? They did this shit. Because the powers that shouldn't be, that's on top of the record labels, NFL, music, entertainment, movies, they're the ones that are in control. So they'll let a few of the Black people come in, cut the rope off. Right now, we got our few little selective. We'll let them push out this stuff to the masses of people. And no, while that music shouldn't influence you to harm somebody, right? We should be very conscious that we are not going out here harming anybody. But the music does something to us. It moves our soul. So when I hear Tupac's Bomb First, I'm not technically going to bomb, but it made me feel something. And just like Holla If You Hear Me, or Party and Bullshit with Biggie Smalls. Like, let's be for real here. We heard that. We get up, start drinking. Where's the beer at? Where's the bubblies? Like, it made us want to do stuff. It because they knew how to play on our psyche. They know what instruments to use. They know what key frequencies and megahertz to use. And we just riding, the wave. We're riding the wave, unbeknownst to us. So they saying Homeland Security flew in on the West Coast and the East Coast. That doesn't sound too cute. That shit sounds way more serious than what we think it is. Because that sounds like that's domestic terrorism. That's why they created Homeland Security. Because after 9/11, they needed to start really fine-tooth combing shit. So it's not like it was a SWAT team, Miami-Dade flew in and, ran through the house and whatnot. No, they said Homeland Security. I was a little spooked, like, oh, what is that about? Because you got me on Rico with R. Kelly. Now you're talking about Homeland Security with Puffy. What's really good? What is going on? So, my little midweek check-in is to just check in with your energy right now. Try not to let all this shit sweep in and seep into you, into your auric field. If you feel like you need to laugh about it, hey, I'm not the police here where I'm going to wag my finger at everybody that makes a remark about it. But just understand that there is something bigger than what is going on behind the scenes. And do not get distracted by the party and bullshit. Do not get distracted by the shiny suits. Because if anything, I'd be mad because these mofos have played 30 years of my life. They played me like a fool, like a fiddle. Somebody broke down really quickly. Let me see who's in the building. P. Moses in the building. Salute. Thank you, Jack Johnson. Who's Jack Johnson? Oh, homeless. You're so stupid, Ed. Yeah. I feel for the twins. And, the sons might be innocent in some things, I don't know. To me, it's a little close to home. So I don't really want to talk I don't want to talk about I can't talk about certain things because it's very close to home. But yeah, some old Jack Johnson thing. I'm just saying this, like, bottom line is that we need to just, just keep ourselves on the up and up. All jokes aside, you're right. I mean, some of the things is funny though. Like when I saw because somebody sent me a picture of Puffy in the Bronco, and I'm just like, damn you. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all are stupid. And you know who's the ones that is making these memes. And it ain't Susie and them, okay? It's not Chad and them. They're not doing that shit. They don't got time for the nonsense. We got time. We got time for days. We got time. So we're going to do it. We're going to do the dumb shit. I appreciate us. We know how to make lemon out of lemonade. You know what I mean? Like, we know how to do these things. But let's just don't get tricked out the rabbit bag or the rabbit hole or whatever the case may be to follow suit with the nonsense. If you look at it as entertainment, then that's just what it is. It's what it is. Also, I wanted to mention that when I did my live last week, I was telling Wally, keep an ear out. Anybody, keep an ear out and put it in the chat. But they couldn't put it in the chat because I don't have the video up. And I said I could be reaching, right? So I had a prophetic dream. I think it was like 2 days before I came on that live last Monday. I think Ant Dog might have been here for that. Anyway, the dream was just the part that I can really, really remember was that I was entertaining some family members that I don't really recognize, but they were like my stepmother who passed away 5 years ago and my dad who recently just passed away it'll be a year next month. And I'm telling these ladies like, oh, we're outside like in the backyard of a home. And I'm telling the ladies like, oh, did you get to see my dad yet? You remember my dad, right? Like, and they're like, yeah. And so like, I know he's gone, but I'm still trying to like introduce my dad. But anyway, he pops up in the dream. He shows up in the dream. And as we're talking, he kind of like glides back away. He doesn't say anything. He just smiles and he's standing between the two ladies and he looks at me, but he's smiling at me. And he oh, excuse me. He kind of like disappears into the crowd. And I hear this motor going. This very loud motor, like, bah, 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 bah. So I'm like, well, what the hell is that? So I'm telling my stepsister now, I say, I think we need to like move the party indoors or move people from outside because something's not sounding right. And then when I look up, there's a plane. It has to be like a Boeing 747 or something like that, 737. Anyway, it was a bright red plane, passenger plane. And the plane was in midair, but the engines, the fuel and all that was going on. So I thought that was very odd because planes don't just stay in midair. That's usually like a blimp. So I said, I started getting really panicky because it was too close to the surface. And I was like, damn, this plane's going to drop down on us. So now I'm running. I get everybody to run out from outside to move inside or go further away because I'm thinking this plane, if it drops, it's going to drop the whole house. So we can't be in the house at all. All for the plane to then, I hear the engines go, it clicks back on. And then the plane flies into this schoolhouse building, red brick schoolhouse. And there were students, not in the school, but they were outside like performing for a like spring break kind of thing or whatever. And I said, and the most peculiar thing that came out my mouth, I said, oh, that's how 9/11 did it. And I woke up out of the dream. Well, not right away because there was more stuff that kind of happened. Just very little after that, but I'm not going to go into it. But I am because Puffy and Jay-Z came in that dream. Woo, God, today. Woo, right. Because I was like, why are they here? Because they came in with my husband. Lord have mercy. Okay, so anyway, so I'm like looking the way the plane went in. I'm like seeing just like this like slit in the school building, and I was just like, so that's how 9/11 did it. And then I hear Homeland Security came in and raided Puffy's home, and I'm like, but that's not the one. That's not how I'm connecting the dots. The connect the dots to me with this dream. Also, it took place in Vancouver, Canada. I don't know. I've never been to Vancouver, so I don't know nothing about no Vancouver. I thought Vancouver is on the East Coast. That's Toronto. Because I'm like, we need to get back home. We need to get back down to New York. Because New York is not too far from Toronto. But we were in Vancouver. Anyway, yesterday or the day before, there was a accident that happened out in Baltimore with a big embargo ship that hit this bridge. And it was like in the wee hours of the night. And the ship looked too big to go through there anyway, but apparently it had enough space to go in. That was a pretty big cargo ship, like pretty big. Anyway, when I saw the pictures, I saw a lot of red. I think the bottom of the ship had red on it, and then there was like the little cargoes had red. So that didn't pique me right away. It didn't hit me right away. What hit me was somebody had mentioned that it could have been possibly detonated. And they showed the pictures of each piece of the bridge breaking apart, but the person was counting 1, and the light went off, boof, 2, boof, 3, boof, and the bridge was like collapsing, but you can see and they was like reminiscent of 9/11, huh? And I was like, there's the connection. So I couldn't figure it out what was going to happen, but I knew it was going to be big. I knew this was going to make news, and it sure has. It got to the BBC broadcast. This is big. Don't know what's on those cargoes, but big, 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 big. No, nobody was injured. Excuse me. 2 people were. One was hospitalized. One didn't have major injuries, which is amazing because I mean, the way it looked, like it could have been more people on that bridge. So, I mean, that, again, I could be reaching, guys. I might be reaching, but when I had the premonition dream of the freaking pandemic and the illnesses and stuff like that, that wasn't. So when I have these type of dreams, I'm like, uh-oh. So I was telling the people there to put it in the comment section. Let me know if you hear anything crazy. And they was like, okay. And then this bridge thing happened. And I was like, So yeah, 6 are missing. Wow. Ooh. Yeah, I would think there would be more casualties because, I mean, it's a bridge. People coming back and forth from work. It's not as overly populated because of the time frame. But man, and then they were saying, the water was frigid and the temperatures were low, and I was just like, but the person, like the next day, people were already starting to dissect this video, and this guy was like, it's reminiscent of 9/11. And I'm like, for me to say that in the dream, and then somebody like a week later, I was like, nah, this is where's brother? Oh, my brother Rich, I love you. I love you in the ethers, because he would say spooky good. Foxy, you are spooky good. That's our brother Rich, who transitioned the year before. But yeah, man, I was like, that was a weird, like, again, I could be reaching. There may be something else big coming along the pipeline, but that was big. It made big news. I mean, it was like on the levels of a 9/11 kind of thing. But the 9/11 of domestic terrorism. Let me take a sip for that. Panero's in the building, my brother Panero. Salute. So, yeah, man. That's really, those are the 2 major things that I wanted to come on and talk about, was just, keeping your energy on a swivel at all times. Try to stay as try to stay away from bullshit as best as possible. I know it's easier said than done. But basically really protect yourself like you would protect a newborn baby. Because your life means so much. And there's this catalyst of whack jobs, weirdos, demons maybe, that are running around here just on some slime time. They're really just on some it's really disheartening. And here in New York City, I mean, you guys could click into any kind of website, Instagram, you'll hear stories about stuff that's going on crazy in New York City. To where some guy is punching girls in the face. Another one that some people getting pushed off the platform, trains are hitting them. Besides the regular old shootouts at the OK Corral, just weird. It's just like weird, like energy. This is like ew. Ew. Like I don't even want to be around it. Like I don't like. And I know other places are going through their own stuff, but New York City, you have to understand certain places carry a lot of frequencies, if you will, high vibrational, not high vibrational as far as like good. They carry all this energy with them. And New York City, like Atlanta, like Baltimore, like Philly, like Miami, Dallas, Michigan, all the way out to Los Angeles and things of that nature. They carry a certain kind of vibe with them, right? So when you're living in it, it's like either you can ride the wave with it, or you gotta like, I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. And as much as I love New York City, this hair right here has got me like, nah, I don't think we could do this too much longer. It almost feels, the energy feels very trapped in, if that makes sense, for those who know about like being empathic. The energy feels almost like isolated, condensed, kind of like Kensington and Philly, right, in Pennsylvania. Like there's this weird like, ugh. And it's kind of hard to maneuver around these things. So it's like you gotta like be guarded up. You gotta have, we can't walk around with open, with our guns out. Although that doesn't mean that people don't do it. I'm just saying we're a state that doesn't, we don't have the gun licensing and all that stuff. We can't walk around. What I'm saying is we can't walk around toting our gun just like, if we did, would that change? I don't know. But I think everything everywhere is going through a weird type of energy. And there's going to be a solar eclipse. We just had a lunar eclipse the other day. That's going to put a mark on the United States. And that's like in 2 weeks. The energy, I can feel it now, actually, because it's usually a week before and then like a couple of weeks after the energy kind of dies down. But we just came out of a lunar eclipse. And then you get smacked in with that solar eclipse, like that energy, it just feels like, ooh, it's like, I don't know. It's like the pot bubbling, the shit's about to explode. It's weird. The energy is very weird. That's all I could say. It's just, if I was like, who's that got wings besides angels? I think it's Storm. If I could just like scoop up my family, like fly us away to like another part of the country or the world. I mean, but even the world is going crazy. Like, I think everything is just, there's just an energetic energy in it. It might be, because the earth is shaking off some parasites, which would be AKA humans, because humans are destroying, Mother Gaia. And there's, humans really some humans don't have a regard for this planet. And greed and money and power have put certain people in positions to we don't give a shit. We just want to build our condos. Excuse me. We just want to have our little land away from everybody else. Right. I'm getting humanitarian on you guys for a minute, but we have to be mindful. Like, it's just really like, would you treat your mom like shit? Some people do. But for those that don't, like, that's how you got to feel like this world is like your mother. And you're the baby. So you have to protect yourself. As best as possible, because there's energy vampires out here that want to seek people that have the light. And they want to infect you with their illness. I.e., calling and telling you about their problems, or, come with me here to come get this guy, that type of shit. Nothing positive. You don't never hear somebody like, oh, let's go build some plants, put some trees up that's been demolished. Like, you hear some people do that. Kudos to them. I'm gonna do that soon. Yes. I try to be mindful. Like, I recycle, I buy, stuff that has been used, like recyclable containers and stuff. Cause I'm like, like stop it. Like, this isn't yours. You were born into it and you should take care of it. And we are the inheritors of the land. And we're not living up to the part. We've let greed, money, and power infect us. We let people like Sean Carter and Puffy Combs hold the fort down for so many years that you couldn't even hear. Remember when Kendrick Lamar was trying to come out with his album, and Jay-Z like pretty much cut all like the conscious music at one point. Y'all remember that, or am I bugging? I might be tripping. And Kendrick and Cole, it was kind of like shelved. So those two, now I don't know about 50 Cent, because he's up there, but I never really hear too much drama about him. My son's like, nah, Ma, he's about it. He's not into that stuff. And I'm like, tomatoes. Maybe because my allegiance is with Pac. My allegiance has always been with Pac. So everybody after that, I don't give two hoots about. It's just me. I'm biased. I'll admit that. I don't want to give nobody a chance. Listen, when I have my allegiance, I have my allegiance, man. You got a general out there, and it's a good general, because he studied the art of war. You're going to follow suit. But, with these guys, there was never, there was no real substance, even though we thought Jay-Z says button up your, we're button ups. They were button ups, right? They're going to go into the liquor industry. We'll go into the liquor industry. But they don't have it. Now the proof's in the pudding. Jay-Z doesn't have no rights to the alcohol. And neither does Puffy. So again, there's all facades. And if you believe that Jay-Z is a billionaire, I think it's more like his wife is a billionaire, but because they're married, then that would make him a billionaire. I don't know how that goes. But he's not as rich as people think he is. It's all been a facade. It's all been a show. And we paid the price for it because we have been soliciting to them. We have been giving them our money. We have been investing our time, our energy. all for Homeland Security to come in? Damn. I don't know about that. That sounds tough. It sounds tough. And this is just not the beginning. We're in the middle. The dust has not settled. It wants you to appear that way, but the dust hasn't settled. Because there's going to be more to come down the pipeline. Because remember who I just said, who the biggest headers are. And they won't lock their own up. Clearly. They haven't. They showed you. As long as you could buy time, you are evading time. You don't have to do time. They'll just shelf you and let you go sit in an island somewhere and go rot. But because they know who the biggest money makers and who generates the most money. And yeah, they got their little Taylor Swifts and stuff. She's not innocent. I mean, she's not innocent. But they do things on a different scale. Anyway. They do. They always have been. It's just we have to be careful now. Anybody wants to go into that, like I tell my son, you don't with that industry. Y'all go independent. Y'all figure it out. Get your own distributor. Do everything on low level, like grassroots type energy. Don't go seeking these people out. Because they prey on little black boys and girls to be their moneymaker, to be their winning horse in the race. They know this. They know this. All of the rap record labels were all owned by white men. Where's Russell Hustle Simmons at? Okay, so it has been happening. We get dumbed down with stuff. We get dumbed down with the distractions. But Hustle, he done ran and left. He came back over here, but he thinks, time has lapsed and stuff like that. Nobody's gonna come out and say something. He might as well stay right back where he was at. It's not time for you to come show your head, because now they linking you with this one. And Russell, he was co-owner, but he wasn't like what we would call founding fathers, because all of them it was all really the white boys that, coming out of college, how they're gonna make it. They're into music. It's a whole big thing, guys. The rabbit hole goes so deep. And somebody broke this down on YouTube last week about just how everything has been hoodwinked. And I'm just like, wow, like nothing, so nothing is real. Nothing. Not even our good old Public Enemy. And all the ones that they live this life and I mean, and rest in peace Prodigy, but he was not a product of a single parent household, not on Section 8, not on welfare. Like none of these people, if you do your homework, none of these people had a single parent household. And they all graduated high school. And some of them even went to college. They was not like Tupac. Like Tupac was the archetype. He really was living and breathing. I'm living a single parent, crackhead household. Like really? None of them. Sean Carter, drug dealer. So you got one poisoning, and then you got the other ones. All of it. Then I'm like, damn, all of it is a freaking facade, which makes me mad when I start thinking about it, because I'm like, damn, I really thought that was like I thought this was a movement. wearing the medallion pieces with Africa, the Nefertiti earrings that I had. And it was just all market strategies of how we can get the little Black boys and girls to buy our records. Yeah. And it made sense. Because I'm thinking, I'm like, none of them dudes, Rakim, KRS One went to college. Like, they all was like college level people. I mean, KRS One, he left his mama's house. He wasn't kicked out. But if you listen to their stories, they really weren't destitute. They were just reporting how other people were living. And they came off of that. Again, feeding off of the innocent. You see that? Prodigy's mother and I think a grandmother or something, like they're real artsy people. I think there was somebody was in the church. They were singers. Nas's father was a musician. I think he was in a 2-parent household, but Nas never really came off like he's destitute. So I give him his props in the beginning. But just most of these rappers that came out, they came from good homes, not broken homes. They saw other people and reported what they saw and lived vicariously through that, but that's not their story. It's not their story. It's a story to tell, but it's not their story. And therefore, that's why it's like, damn. And then they quickly moved the whole conscious music out the way. The Jungle Brothers, those dudes, all of them went to college. None of them was a high school dropout, except for Tupac and maybe Curtis. I don't know. I don't really mess with 50 that way, but none of them. These guys finished high school, did some college. They might not have gotten a college degree, but they went to college. So, and they're coming from intelligent homes. Like, their parents was really on it. They were smart, hardworking parents. They themselves may or may not have went to college, but they got some education. Like, these guys weren't coming from so broken homes the way we think they might have been. Not at all, Ed. Not at all. People were, his mother was a singer. Yeah, no, all the Steens, the Weinsteins, the Harvesteins, the Epsteins, Kevin Spacey, they didn't do nothing. Weinstein's walking with a little walker now, going up to the courthouse. Remember when when the trial was first happening, he was walking in there, no problem. Couple of court dates later, he's walking with this little walker now, like, oh, he can't walk. We supposed to have sympathy? He's part of the Me Too. We supposed to have sympathy? No. But didn't do anything. Still out. But you sat Bill Cosby down for 3 years. You got Robert Kelly sitting in there for 3 years. Maybe even more, because they put up RICO charges. And the only reason RICO came into play, besides them saying, there was trafficking going on, human trafficking, and I'm not batting for Robert, like, by no means, but it was, remember in the beginning, see, some of us kind of forget certain stories. We have selective memory. Remember that remember when it first started, it was that the wife or the ex-wife needed alimony and child support. But he cut her off. If I'm lying, please correct me, because that's really where this is all stemming from. And then the witch hunt came into Surviving R. Kelly, chapters 1-5, part 2 of chapters 1-6 on Netflix. Then you did a humiliation ritual with Gail Kale King. And some people are like, oh, see, he's flipping out. He's guilty. He's saying y'all are crucifying him. So I was like, okay. So I listened to. I'm watching this play out. My heart is invested because yes, I listened to R. Kelly since 1991. Again, these people did all this shit to us subconsciously. These things are embedded in our heads. Step in the name of love, honey, love. DJ's playing my song. When a woman's fed up, I believe I could fly. You Were Not Alone with Michael Jackson. I mean, these songs have been played into our psyche forever, right? But I'm listening, I'm like, I mean, everybody's guilty at this point for me. It's not just him, but they're going to get him because he's the Pied Piper and we're going to get him. But the mothers that were bringing their girls to these concerts, what are you doing bringing your teenage daughter to these concerts? That's not for her to listen to. I don't care if she likes listening to R. Kelly. She's not coming with me while I'm swooning and going crazy at an R. Kelly concert. No. So that's red flags number 1. Red flags number 2 was the whole Aaliyah thing too, because her parents did the same thing. So it's been it's been a pattern. Everybody's guilty. But because he has the money and the power, we got to put him down. So he's down now on RICO charges, which kind of goes with money if you look at it. But money, if you read up what the RICO charges were in place for, it was for the mobs here in New York City, because they were moving money, moving drugs, and then it was becoming interstate to state, right? So that's when it becomes RICO, because now it becomes federal, right? And so that's what they're trying to say, that R. Kelly never ever was RICO ever used in regards to human moving back and forth. Never. I didn't hear about it. And I listened to the John Gotti. I lived through that time. We never heard, it was only about money and drugs. We never hear about him moving people state to state like that. So when I heard R. Kelly being charged with RICO, I'm like, they're using these big, big terms, right? Fast forward, 4 years later? Wait, how long has R. Kelly been in jail? 3 years, 4 years? Anyway, you got Puffy with Homeland Security. I'm like, damn. like that's another blow. I'm like, what? Homeland Security? Okay. All right. None of my business, but that shit sounds spooky. That shit sounds deep. Like you've never heard. When have, like, seriously, guys, seriously, Voodoo's in the building. Salute. Evidence Fanny is a hero. Fanny, you saluting for her? But seriously, when was the last time y'all heard Homeland Security came in and did some evasions on a house? Like, when was the last time? Because to me, this is the first time I'm hearing about it. I only heard Homeland Security do that when there's domestic terrorism or foreign terrorism. No? I'm just trying to make that make sense. That sounds really like your boy is about to be doing something. Your boy is about to be doing some fed time. Fed time. I think R. Kelly's doing, because it's RICO, so he's doing fed time too. What a tangle web we weave for those that do deceive. So we guard up our energy, guys. I'm not going to be too much longer. I just want to give a shout out everybody. If I missed anybody, I know it's impromptu, so I wasn't, I didn't sound the alarm. I didn't post it. It's just kind of those when when the spirit moves, you go right with it. So trusting, because I just want us to, like, while yes, stuff, it may seem funny to us, to some, especially putting the memes out and just doing the dumb shit that we do. There's real victims out here. And there's always been victims in that industry. Again, this is nothing new. If you go back to 1927, I mean, poor little Shirley Temple, listen to her story. And this isn't us. We hadn't even gotten there yet. They've been doing this. They just found new people to keep going, doing their dastardly work. That's all. They've been doing this. Mickey Rooney, who was the other one? Judy Garland. They'll tell you their horror stories. And why she was a drunken alcoholic and a pill popper. Marilyn Monroe. They was pumping all them drugs, these people. Some of them couldn't do it. Some of them couldn't take it anymore. And they took their own life. And it's sad. It's really sad because these people prey on innocent people who think, oh, I got a talent and I want to go in and I want to, show my talent. There's a price to that. There's a price to that. It's a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice. And that's what they're doing. You want to go along with the program? Okay. You've been warned, though. This is the karmic year. I mean, the karmic year. Yes. The universal number 8 is the karmic year. So we are in the beginnings of this year, and this has all been happening. So by the end of this year, going into spring next year, something else. Oh, wait. Before I go. Keefe D and them, right? Keefe D, Dwayne Davis is going to be going to trial the beginning of June, which happens to be Tupac's birth month. So we will wait and see what goes down that pipe. My take is, like I said this a couple of months ago, he will not be really linked to Pac's assassination, but they probably will get him on the charges of, other stuff that he had, that he willingly made a deal to keep him out, right? So he'll sit down for that. But as far as him being the sole person, I told y'all. Oh, Ultra's in the building. Salute, my brother Ultra. Salute. I don't have no stake in the horse there, no bets on that, but I almost can guarantee that he's not going to jail because of Tupac's assassination. Even Tupac's biological father said, this guy is not smart enough to take out this hit on my son. I agree. And Tupac's father was an ex-Panther. He knows who really is behind it, but he's like, I'm not going. He's like, because things could still happen. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what Mr. Garland said. Things could still happen. So I don't want to talk. But I'm just letting you know that guy is not the sole person or even that remotely responsible for taking my son's life. I agree. Just read the COINTELPRO book. Read the FBI War on Tupac Shakur. It's all in there. Who does what? Is Puffy linked to Pac's assassination? At first, I said no, because I know that the Alphabet Boys know how to orchestrate beefs between rivals and things of that nature. But the fact that Homeland Security swooped down, he's a pawn. He could be a Lee Harvey Oswald as well. Could be working with the government all along. I mean, to some degree, they all are. All of our so-called favorite rappers. They've all made deals to keep them out. Why do you think these little boys down in Atlanta, they getting charged with RICO? So yeah, things are really coming down the pipe. And I'm almost like, I don't trust, like I can't even trust what I'm seeing anymore, if that makes sense for you guys. I can't trust what I'm seeing in front of me. Like I really have to trust my intuition at this point, because I don't know what's real, who's real, what's being said, right? I have to go on my God-given knowledge, what I've read about, and my intuition. Because if I sit here and let social media or mainstream media dictate what's going on, I'm gonna be a sheep just following along. And I'm like, I can't. I refuse to. My soul won't let me. So yeah, I'm gonna keep my energy on a swivel, because it's like shit is like bonkers out here. Like it is really a bizarro world. Everything is turned upside down. Like it really is just, everything is just like, what just happened right now? But this is also energetically, like outside, like on some real earth moving stuff. So we're going to be hit with another M-class solar flare that's hitting the earth. So some people are more susceptible. I'm feeling Magneto. Like if y'all know, y'all watched X-Men and Magneto is, like I'm feeling that type of energy. So yes, it's good to be outside. Pick your times of the day to be outside, because minions are going to be out now. The weather is getting nicer. The minions are starting up again. And we have to really be guarded, especially the light beings of the earth. You really have to be protected, because it's almost like we're being outnumbered. Like we really need to slay some dragons out here, like because there's a lot of craziness going on. Like, call on your ancestors, man. Call on your peoples. Diddy should have paid. Voodoo. QB. Woo! Ultra. Not that. No, but that Nate Boy, they said he was working. What's that song that Fox said? Oh my God, hit him up. When he was talking about Haitian Jack, I knew he was a Fed. Same time, picture what he said. And did I mention Jimmy Henchman? So he was definitely dastardly. That definitely was that dude there. As the kids say, nasty work. He's nasty work. And he should be under the jail at this point. He should be under the jail. I think they got him on RICO too, if I'm not mistaken. But they got him down quick. Not quick because they've been watching him. But what I mean is, like, he went in. There was no like long, lengthy trial. Like, nah, put this animal in. Somebody had mentioned today that they're doing some correlations again, and I love metaphysics. I love gematria, numerology, astrology, astronomy. But everything I don't know. I can't make everything fit to say, it's according to the alignments of the stars that this is why. Da, da, da. I mean, energetically, there's some things going on, and they have a point. But someone had said today on YouTube, because I was watching them, that all these guys coming out of that so-called conscious community are basically under the tutelage of Dr. Malachi Z. York. Like Polite, Nature Boy. And Malachi Z. York is sitting in, I think it's Atlanta, or did they get him in Tennessee? Anyway, he's sitting in a federal jail cell. Forgot how many years I think they gave him like 400 years too, something like that. Because he was doing something like a Nature Boy, allegedly. But they got documents. I don't know. I didn't follow York like that. I read 2 Nuwapian books back in the days, but I was no way a Nuwapian. I just like other schools of thoughts and beliefs and things of that nature. I incorporate and read, and I love to read. So it kind of makes sense why those particular guys, Bambaataa, because they were all coming under that Nuwapian. And I was like, damn, like he made it make sense. But I was like I don't want to get pseudo with it. But then I'm like, well, who would show all these people that? And that type of thing, like with Dr. York, that's nothing new either. Because they had back in the 50s was Brother Divine or something like that. There's been a couple of those type of archetypes that it goes in cult. Like we can't say David Koresh anymore because there are black cult leaders. We can't say David Koresh and them no more, Jim Jones and them no more. No, we got new ones now. So be careful with who you subscribe with, who you subscribe to. I'm saying in the general, like what you listening to, who you're listening to. What influences you? I'm telling you, they put a whole chokehold on us. From if you lived from 1981 to 95, we've been hoodwinked in some ways. It's almost like they put a spell on you. That's what I keep hearing in my head. I put a spell on you. And I'm like, damn, they really got us. Because that's when hip hop really took off and fell. Because after Pac and Big died, that was it. That really was hip hop. Again, no diss to 50. If anybody's 50, they like his stuff. I only like 1 or 2 things. What he's doing now, I guess, is good. I don't know. I don't follow 50. I never really, because after Pac died, that was it. I went into mourning. It took me a while to come out of mourning. And I was like, that's it. The golden days are gone. And you get ushered in. 50 came with the whole gangster thing too. Like he put a spin to it. Everybody had a part. Everybody had a part to play in this whole damn charade. Everybody had a part. Pac too. As much as I love, can go on for days about Tupac. At some point, he said it. At least he said it. Yes, I had to dance with the devil, but they was gonna murk me in prison. He wasn't trying to go out in prison. He's like, look, at least let me take my life when I'm outside. I don't want to be inside and y'all take my life. But whatever. What I'm saying is that it's all of that. And anytime something good came about, they had to throw something negative to disrupt the influence. So yeah, again, the music shouldn't make you want to get out there and do harm to somebody, but it's very influential. And dissect with this, the little rapper XXX Tension, he caught on to the, like, oh, I'm gonna change the frequencies, like I'm gonna change my life, like I can't. He's 20 years old. He was going through some stuff, like he also was living that life, like kind of like a Pac, where he was just lost and things weren't happening. He was coming from a single home. I think his father was locked up, and he may or may not have been exploited at a very young age. That's where he gets his name, XXX, right? If you look at when there's, what is it, the porno thing, you know what I'm talking about. He said it. I watched his documentary. He was living with a guy who was making pornos in his house, and Extension was living there with another friend of theirs. They were 16. God only knows what was going on. So my heart kind of bleeds for him a little bit, because I have a soft spot for the young men. I have a young man. So, and maybe I'm biased. I like the girls. I love the girls. But I love my young men, because they're the ones that was going to take care of it. They're the stronghold here. Like, let's losing sight that these men are not here to do shit for us. They are here. They are here. Like I said earlier, you cannot beat down a 300-pound, 6-foot-tall man. There's no way. I don't care how big of a woman you are. There's no way you can take down that man. So yes, the men are here as our protectors, providers, our confidants, our lovers, our friends. Right? Providers. And we keep diminishing each other because you falling for the bag. That all that is a trick bag. That's bullshit. It is media that made you think, what was the movie? Oh, I could do bad by myself. Okay. Sure, you can. You can. Really, you can. Anybody could. But we're not building the unities back. And remember, during the 80s, right, with the crack epidemic happened, which was through the alphabet boys, right? They targeted who and destroyed who, so that the mothers are giving fellatios to her best friend's son, her son's best friend, so he can give the crack to them. Like, do we see the destruction here? No. We need unity. We need the family structure. We need to have the co-parenting. And even if the parent, husband and wife, or whatever, baby daddies, baby mamas, y'all not living together, but you can work together for the purpose of your child or children, then that's all that matters. You don't need to live this life that you're seeing out here. Puffy is not an example. However he's dealing with his children, but he's also exploiting his kids. He also puts them up into the limelight and does all that stuff, like partying with him, partying with Quincy, partying with Justin and stuff like that. Like, dude, you 50 something. These are 25-year-old men. Like, let them rock out. Right? So yeah, like we still need the core values and the core family units and things of that nature. And it does take a village to raise the children, and stop being this backbiting against each other with the oh. Because we're gonna be some sorry people. Like we cannot be without contact. We are humans. We need to be physical with people. Like, this ain't the herd out in Serengeti. Like, you're not lions roaming the freaking desert. We're humans. We always gonna need contact. And the notion of you could do bad by yourself, sure you can. You should do bad by yourself. Sure you should. But when you get right and ready, let's build. Let's work together. Let's do something here. because we got a family. We're losing it, but we're worried about social media and how we can post and do all this nonsense. It's like, they let, who they let off Ed with Nature Boy. Yeah, says when it's sex most is not if they did it willingly. I mean, listen, I'm not going to sit here and act like there aren't innocent. Oh, really? Because was Hammer doing some stuff? Don't hurt him, Hammer. Listen, I mean, I think I know what you're talking about. That was back in the Michelet days with Dr. Dre. Listen, look, Dr. Dre too. They was just about to get Dr. Dre, but something went sideways. I'm telling you, all the heavy hitters is going to come down. The black Rome is going to fall. The black Rome is going to fall. That's just how I see it. Eventually, right, okay, that's what I thought you were talking about. Eventually, they're going to get to Mr. I want to wear my hair like Basquiat. And, he's been running on a kind of thin rope, and he's had some alleged children that it's not even funny. It's just not even funny. Because those kids, things that make you say, And I don't like deadbeats. I don't like deadbeats. So the fact that he's got 2 adult children, allegedly, that are like, look, like at this point, it's not about money. It's just about recognition. And the way that you moved and did stuff, I have my own opinions about him too. Him and Puffy, they can sit in a closet together. I'm done. I've been done with them. I don't see the hype. They got a couple of songs and everybody puts them on this pedestal. Whatever. But if there's people that are coming out and saying this, now, yes, granted, there are people out here looking for money. They're going to say they related to so-and-so just to get close to get their money. Fine. But I'll say this. Oh, excuse me, y'all. I'm drinking some cranberry juice. The son, the alleged son of Jay-Z, looks like him. Just a little darker. That's all. From here to here is all Jay-Z. And the son at one point was trying to get charges for his mother, criminal charges against Jay-Z, because his mother was a minor at the time that Jay-Z hooked up with her. Same story. That was one child is in, and they're adults now. They're almost 30 years old. One, I think, is like 25. They're almost 30. So again, things that make you go, because what was he doing 30 years ago? So remember, he was Mr. I sell drugs, right? I go down to Baltimore. I go down to Philly. These 2 children one is from Philly and one's from Baltimore. Both the mothers are deceased. They would be about my age now, which means, and I was 15 when I was pregnant with my child, but I was pregnant by another teenager. But he, Mr. Basquiat wannabe, was mid-20s. Now, sure, girls, the girls who lie. No, I'm 17. No, I'm 18. I know. I told y'all my story. Or I didn't. Did y'all check out Foxy Tales that Black Moses put up? I sure did go into a club at 17 when it was supposed to be 21 and older. I sure did. I sure did bump into Old Dirty Bastard, and he was like, "What you doing?" I was like, "Gotta go." I don't let none of that limelight. Now, you know, my son said, "Ma, if it was Pac, I'd be like, damn it, maybe." At first, I talk to him though. At first, I'll talk. You know, I'm ashamed, but no, I mean, yeah, girls, listen. There's nothing new with young girls lying about their age to guys or an R. Kelly situation. I used to have a bunch of R. Kelly situations when I was in grade school, well, 8th grade. Guys, 18 to 21, we little girls hanging out in front of our school. We didn't think nothing of it though, because that's the nature. Like, it's like, so when we were hearing R. Kelly and the girl, like, that's why I kind of like jumped the fence with him, because I was like, but there's been girls that have been doing that all along. There's nothing new. But he should know better, is what they're saying. True. But, you know, some girls are built a little bit differently. They look a little older. You know, we don't know what happened with Basquiat's wannabe, if that's what he saw down there. But, you know, these young adults are saying, hey, look, if it's a problem. And the son is really adamant. This alleged son is really adamant. He's gone on to court, wants to get court documents. He's asking for the DNA. Basquiat doesn't want to do that. I feel like this young man has been relentless. And I feel like if he's gone for that many years to try to prove that Jay-Z's his father, then why not do a DNA test? Why not? Get your lawyers to write up some stuff. He's got his lawyers. Make it happen. Right. 2 adult children, if it's proven, we will. Well, like I said, the mother's, the son, the alleged son's mother passed away. She had like some terminal illness. So, but I think the mother of the girl is still alive, and I'll be 48 in July, so they're my age. They were exactly happy because they're my kids' age. My kid's 25, we're going to be 26. One is 25, the other one's 26. So I'm like, come on, like, back then he wasn't, and the girl's aunt went on live to say she got pictures of him in the house with the with the girlfriend. And at the time he wasn't really doing the rap thing. So it was no thing. The aunt said, you know, he came over to my house. You know, he hung out with my niece, He had his other peoples here. I cooked chicken, this, that, and third. Like this man tried to erase that whole history. So now can you imagine everybody who looked up to Mr. is really a deadbeat dad? We're not looking no more up to none of these people. None of them. None of these NFL players. None of them. Because they all, not all, but most, is just for shits and giggles at this point. Yeah, that's voodoo. That's why the son is trying to get, he was trying to get criminal charges against Jay-Z because he said his mother was underage. She was 15. So that's why he was trying to do but it can't stick because, I mean, she's not here to testify, and it's more like third party type thing at this point. So the young man is like, listen, if it's nothing and I'm not his child, then why doesn't he do a DNA test? It's that simple. Like, why can't he just do a DNA test? So now that's making it more like, then you got something to hide. Like, if that's not, and like, yeah, granted, he's got this money, he wants to protect his family, things of that nature. But this young man has been relentless for years. Years. I mean, kudos to him, because I after a couple of years, I'm like, you know what? I can't. I did that with my own. He didn't want to be bothered, and we were both 15. Didn't want to be bothered. Okay, no problem. I'm not gonna hunt you down, because karma's gonna come back. But I am a strong believer in karma. Karma will come back, and I don't wish nothing on nobody. Love and light. But I understand the nature of karma, and you will reap what you sow. So it may not happen now, may not happen in the near future, but the shit's gonna happen. That's what could be happening right now with the Basquiat wannabe. So, you could hide behind your wife all you want. She was a teenager when they met, was she not? Was she not? Oh no, but she was 17. But it doesn't matter if she was underage. She was still a teenager. She's legal, right? But I think she was like 16, 17, around that age. And he's in his mid-20s. Like, again, please make this all make sense. You're not talking to Halle Berry. Like, you're not trying to push up on your peer. You're not push up on somebody that's your age. These are younger people, young, impressionable people that will look up to you, right? And take what you say as word. It's no wonder why Solange clapped them up in the elevator. Kudos to Solange, because she was like, enough is enough. But they have an image. They are, what do you call that? Well, yeah, it is an image. So they can't really tarnish their brand. That's what it is, their brand. So Beyonce and Jay-Z can't tarnish their brand. But I'm telling you, if she gets a divorce, some rich white European man is going to swoop Beyonce up. And she's going to go live somewhere off in Germany, somewhere like Tina Turner did. They did it with Josephine Baker. Them men over there, they will wrap themselves up, a nice black woman from America, and treat her like gold. Unfortunately, it goes down that way, but that's like the running thing. I've seen it already. We saw it with Josephine Baker. She done married some French dude, and they're all white. But whatever. That's what's going to happen with Beyonce. I'm telling you. You heard it first. It happens years later. Be like, I remember that Foxy said that would happen. Because that's how I see it. I'm like, no, nobody else is going to pick her up. Nobody's going to, because they're going to look, excuse me, not for nothing, but they're going to look at Beyonce like used goods, damaged goods. Like here, like, oh, we're not dealing. Like after Jay-Z, nobody's really going to be picking her up like that. It really would be some like Russian tycoon or some French aristocrat, something along those lines. Mm-hmm. Look, Eve did it. Right? Who else? What's this chick's name that does the tennis? And I don't know why, but it is what it is. Right. And trash. I can't say it's trash, right? Or some Arabian prince or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just come and swoop her up. Like, let's go. Because that would be the equivalent to the status as far as money. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know if any billionaires here. I don't see any, like, even somewhere in Texas. Like, I don't see no rich tycoon like wrapping Beyonce up from here. I don't see it because I feel like I mean, they didn't do that with Tina. They didn't do that with Josephine Baker. In fact, they didn't even like Josephine Baker here. Shit, Josephine, the original Beyonce, she left and became a French citizen. She was like, I'm done with America. Y'all can burn in hell for all I care. They was treating her like trash. That's the whole segregation, calling her all kinds of tar babies and things of that nature. She trying to bleach her skin out to make. She said, I'm gonna go where I'm loved and celebrated. And they put her up on a pedestal, but that's only because of their status. Not any old, just regular Black woman, Hispanic woman can get like, ugh, that's not happening. These are status women. These are women that are not your everyday. That these guys are not everyday people either. So yeah, Beyonce, she's not going to be, she's not sitting courtside waiting for, whoever to pick her up. They're going to be looking at her like, nope. And you got 3 kids and they Jay-Z's babies. You know how many men will not touch her like that? Some foreign guy overseas would not give a hot damn. They will look at her like solid gold. Solid gold. But people here be like, no, that's Jay-Z's woman. No, we're not messing with that. She'll be sitting here looking like, what happened? Look, at Solange, poor thing. Her marriage didn't work out. She was regular, like in the scopes of Beyonce. Just not working out. Yeah, talking about the country album, I only heard the song that they keep playing, and I don't see the big hype about it. Who, them foreign people also? They'll go pick her up, right? Like, give me this woman. What? Until her dying. Listen, Tina Turner's husband was there with her until her death. She stayed out in Germany and was treated like a queen, as she should. But it won't no prince. It won't no prince from Zimbabwe scooping up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think everybody's just like, nah, we're not doing that. Like, but them white dudes, they were like, yo, give me that. That's an asset for them. What? Hold on, y'all. That's an asset. But Prince Naveen and them is not coming. All right, y'all, I'm back. Damn Amazon. All right, what I miss? The average guy can afford. Yeah, that part, Ed. So I think that's what it is. But my thing is too, like, just out of curiosity's sake, now that I mentioned it, I'm like there's no like African prince that's like saying, let me get Tina Turner, or let me get Beyonce. Like, seriously. So I'm wondering what's that all about. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So trying to make it make sense for us here. But, kudos, congratulations. If all that goes and whatever, we just sitting back, just watching. That's what we do. Yeah, I definitely believe that too, Ultra. I do. Case in point, they trying to get the little Gingy, Prince Harry lined up with Puffy. I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it. But, they're trying to say anybody who was anybody around Puffy, I guess they want to bring him in for questioning. Whatever. He tried to tell us that his marriage, his meeting Meghan Markle was by a hookup of a friend of hers and his. And I watch a lot of the British history, a lot of it. I love the Tudor period. I love watching that. And I'm like, every marriage has been arranged. So I'm like, you're going to tell me that Meghan Markle was just some random chick that a mutual friend thought that she'd be the best pick for you? Nah. Nah. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the father's side is like a 15th cousin or something on Queen Elizabeth, Lizzie's side. So yeah, there's no just random you meeting somebody and then they're going to start dating them and then go marry them. That's not how it's done. But yeah, I think you're right, Ultra. I think there's a lot more arranged marriages on purpose. So, possibly like with, Beyonce and Jay-Z and, the father. Same thing with Aaliyah, though, right? Because I don't know who signed off on her birth certificate to change it. But I don't know. The family is there's her uncle worked with Robert Kells. So that's why I'm like, no, these are like, these are predators, man. This stuff is deep. It's deeper than rap. Like it's definitely something that's not on the everyday norm surface level. Is the average guy like preying on younger women? Some are. I'm not going to say nobody is. Some are. There was a situation just not too long, about a week ago, where this guy turned himself in because he was trying to talk to these two girls. They were 19 years old, and he was getting rejected, and he ends up stabbing both of them, and one is dead. All because the girls didn't want to take his number or get his Instagram. So he couldn't deal with rejection. So I'm not saying that there aren't people out here that have those kind of issues, but for the most part, like, we see it more in like those kind of settings with Hollywood, with music and movies and actors and actresses and stuff of that nature, where it's more like fixed as opposed to just randomly, I think like DMX would kind of be like more of a random person. I don't think like any of that was, somebody bringing him his wife and his girlfriends from like the industry. I think everything was just like, he's like, I'm just out here doing my thing. But yeah, I mean, there's crazy people out here on a day to day, but when it's like, when it hits to like the high levels, like Hollywood and the music industry, it's like, ooh, you know, sounds a little vicious. So, all right, y'all. With that being said, I'm going to sign off. And yeah, this was an impromptu visit. It's a midweek check-in so that we are checking ourselves on a daily, you know, we're tapping in with ourselves, making sure that we drink that water, that quality H2O, making sure that we have, you know, good idle food when we're eating, right? Making sure that we're watching what we eat, right? Out visually, putting things into our mind, and staying clear of certain things that just don't jive right in your in your, you know, your spirit, in your soul. Is it okay? I mean, like, it's okay to laugh and have fun and stuff. And if you want to joke around with these shits, hey, I mean, it is, you know, we're human. We're gonna laugh, but know that there's seriousness to it as well, especially when it comes to innocent people that didn't deserve to be, you know, railroaded. So just, you know, being mindful with that. And other than that, guys, I'm still not doing any privates, no private readings at the moment. May do a mindful Monday. I'll see how it's moving, how things are moving along with me. Thank you, my Ed. Salute. NYC is the craziest city I've ever seen under domestic. Yeah, it can be voodoo. It can be, sure enough. That was why I hurt my heart with the little girls, because I have a teenager too, and I'm just like you can't, because that cat calling shit is annoying. Like, what makes you think I'm going to stop just because you said, you whistled, or you said hi, or you said good morning? And if I say good morning, then it's like, oh, she likes me. No, I'm just saying good morning. I'm being polite. Well, what makes you think that I'm like, you know, I don't understand some people, some men, like their mentality is like, and you got to control your urges. Like, you see these beautiful women, just smile, or just, you know, like, keep it pushing. Why do you got to go and attack girls, young women, because you nobody wants to be your friend? Like, what? That just happened like 2 weeks ago. He had to turn himself in because they're about to put the hands and feet on him, because it was twin 19-year-old girls. And he went to attack one, and the sister stepped in, and one of the sisters died, and the other one's still in the hospital. Like, it's not warranted. You know, some people say, oh, depending on how you dress, and, you know, yeah. And I'm one to be modest about what I wear, but that still shouldn't warrant a man to impose on me. You know what I mean? It still shouldn't make somebody go and attack me because of how I'm dressed, or how I'm looking, or because I didn't say anything to you. Now you have a problem. Like, it's crazy. But, you know, this has always been like this, voodoo. It's been wild like that for years. Like, they just now put a law. Well, they're trying to implement the law. I don't know if it went through yet, about fining people, you know, with the cat calling and stuff. And I'm like, good luck trying to fine somebody $25 because they try to make an advance at a woman. Like, good luck with that. So, yeah, absolutely. He's getting his retribution right when he gets in, because that's a big case. So he's going to get his just desserts in jail, because there was no need for you to do that. No need. But some people can't stand rejection. So, all right, y'all. So that with that, salute. Peace out to everybody catching this on the replay. Salute. Thank you, my Miss Sharon. I know I haven't said or heard from you in a while, so hope all is well, and appreciate you. And my Lotus, my big cat, the moderators extraordinaire. Salute, and love you all. Love and light. Peace.